Yo, how you guys all doing today? My name's uhhkyo. In today's video, guys, I'm gonna be telling you guys a life story. Now, I actually haven't done a life story in a while. It's really weird because my life stories seem to do really good on my channel, so I don't know why I haven't been uploading them. But anyways, guys, today I have an insane and really weird life story to share with you guys. So if we can hit 40 likes, that would be insane. Now, just before this video starts, just drop a like. I mean, I don't really like asking for likes, but like this life story, guys, is insane. Like, I really think it deserves 40 likes. But anyways, guys, let's get started with the story. Okay, guys, so this life story takes place 3 days ago. Now, it was actually the same day that I was making that Battlefield 1 video, so if you haven't seen that, you can check it out if you want. But anyways, guys, I was setting up my computer, like my Elgato, my microphone, to, you know, make that Battlefield 1 video. So sometimes when I've been sitting for a long period of time, I like to get up and stretch and stuff like that. So I'm like, you know what, why not just go to my window, look outside, because everyone has their Christmas lights on. It looks actually really nice. But I'm like, you know what, I'll go outside, I'll just look at my window. So, you know, I go to my window, right, and I see these kids, and they're like not on my driveway, but they're at like the end of my driveway on the sidewalk, if you get the point. But these guys were picking up my neighbor's cat, and I guess they wanted to pet it, so I didn't think much of it, right? And I'm like, okay, whatever. I go back, right? So then I would say I come back like maybe like three minutes later, and I see these kids still there. Now they look really suspicious. I'm like, okay, I don't know, but they look really suspicious, but at the same time they look like really shy. So I'm like, maybe they're my sister's friends, because my sister is in this thing called Girl Guides. It's basically Girl Scouts. You can be from like age 10 to like 16. So I'm like, these kids are pretty young. Maybe they're like shy to like call on my sister. So I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go find my sister. She's either in her room or downstairs, and I'm gonna say like, yo, your friends are here, right? So I go, you know, downstairs, right? And I'm like, wait a minute, my sister's not even home. And it clicked in. I'm like, why are these kids like just looking sketchy as fuck, like at my house, and like my sister's not even home? So I'm like, whatever. I go back to the window. These kids are gone. I'm like, okay, this is really weird. Now I look down the street, right, and I see these kids down the street. I'm like, what are they doing? So I'm like, what the heck? Now I step outside, right, and I look down the street, and I see these guys. They're running with a cat, right, to like the corner. Well, they weren't running, but like they're there, and like I was like, what are you guys doing, right? Because they look really sketchy. So the cat ran back, and I'm like, okay, this is really weird. And these guys start chasing the cat again, and they see me, and then like the girl like kind of tapped her like brother, whoever it was, or like, yo, stop, like this guy knows that we're here and we're doing this. And I'm like, what the heck? So I'm like, okay, this is really weird. So I go back inside, and I'm like on my gaming setup. I'm like about to make this video, right, this Battlefield 1 video, and I'm like, this is really weird. Like, I just keep thinking of what these kids are doing. So I'm like, okay, this is really weird. I go back outside my house, right, and this is where I'm like, what is going on? So like I said at the beginning of the video, these guys had my neighbor's cat, right? Now, they're at the end of the corner, at the end of the street, right? And I can see them at the end of the street putting this cat in the bag. I'm like, what is going on here, right? So I'm like, I yell, I'm like, because basically what happened is they tried to put the cat in the bag. I'm like, hey, and then like they stopped and they looked at me, and the cat got out. And then I said out loud, I'm like, are you guys having trouble putting that cat in the bag? And these guys are like, what the heck? So they started like running, right, to like the end of the corner. I went back inside, so they're like, okay, he's gone now. We're gonna go get this cat. So I'm like, okay, these guys are trying to steal the cat. Like, it's so obvious. So I get like my pants on, my shoes on, and I get my skateboard, right? And I come outside my house, and I see these guys. Well, they see me, and they started dashing, right? So like I'm on a penny board, really fast skateboard. I easily catch up to these kids, right? And I'm like, okay, guys, stop. What are you doing? And these guys had the bag open, and this girl was like holding the cat, and I'm like, okay, what are you doing? And these guys are like, oh, and they start stuttering and stuff, and I'm like, okay, this is weird. So this guy, the boy, the little like 9-year-old kid, he said he was 12, but honestly he looked like he was 6, so I'm just gonna say he's 9, okay? He says, oh, I'm just bringing it back, you know, for my dad. And I'm like, what, your dad? So I'm like, because I know that cat, I know it's my neighbor's cat, I know what they look like, I know their names, you know, stuff like that. So I'm like, really? So it's for your dad. And then the girl says, no, no, it's for our auntie. So I'm like, yeah, you guys are stuttering, you don't even know what you're saying. And I'm like, oh really, it's for your auntie, right? And okay, I kid you not, this guy, I'm like, it's for your auntie, that's what I said, right? And he's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm like, oh, what's your auntie's name? Because I obviously know my neighbor. And like, maybe it was his auntie, right? My neighbor is this kid's aunt, right? But I'm like, okay, what is your, aunt's name, right? And then he says, I'm not even making this up, guys. This kid was so scared, he literally said George. I'm like, oh, George, really? And at this point, they let go. The cat got away. I'm like, so that's your cat? They're like, yeah. And he's like, well, isn't your cat, running away? And they're like, yeah. So this guy is really sketchy, like 9-year-old kid, I don't know. He puts a red bandana on, he starts walking down the street. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing? So like, I follow this guy. I'm like, alright guys, like, I don't know what you're doing, you're just doing some stupid shit, just don't come back and do that dumb shit, right? So like, I obviously didn't say that to these little kids. I just said like, yo, don't come back and do that, right? So I'm like, okay, whatever. I go back up. These guys are running down the street, and they turn around, they start swearing at me. They're like, yo, fuck you, dude, fuck you. Like, these little kids are swearing at me, like, what are these guys doing? So I'm like, I pretend like I don't notice. I go around the block, and then I head down the other street, and I see these guys bolting. It's so funny. Like, I see these little kids running, and I'm on a penny board. I take like 2 strides, and I literally catch up to them in like 5 seconds. So I'm like, okay, what are you guys doing? And then I'm like, okay, stop right now. Like, what are you guys doing? And then like, and they're like stuttering. I'm like, hey, just say sorry. And they're like, sorry. And like, they're so scared. I'm like, okay, just don't come back and do it again. They're like, okay, fine. And yeah, that's the story. I mean, it was really weird. Honestly, guys, these guys were literally, like, there's a lot more detail. Basically, like, I seen them putting the cat in the bag. I'm not even making it up, but insane story. This video is so long. I'm gonna end it here. Now, if you guys like long stories, let me know. If you don't, you like those like 4-minute short stories, let me know. I just thought this story needed a lot more detail. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you next video. Until then, have a great day. It's boy Kyle, and I'm out. Peace.